Testing. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Oh, I can hear myself. Oops. Oh, here we go. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. As you guys file in. Hope everybody's having a good, wonderful day. Hey, Manuel. It's not over. It just started, actually. Hello, hello. So, oh, I have the wrong. Oh my gosh, I have the wrong overlay on. Sorry. It looks like I accidentally broke something. Okay, no overlay for us today. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hi, Odon, RHN, Shamus, Matet. How are you today? So today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to create Vecna from Stranger Things. How does that sound for you? I'm really excited to do this today. Also, we on the ZBrush Live channel are actually going through a little challenge this month for creating, I think it's like D&D minis and things like that. So I'm going to try to combine the two, if I can, and make a Vecta mini or like collectible or 3D print. So what does it say here? Tabletop games miniatures. We decided the theme of the month of June is tabletop games miniatures, and we hope to have you create stuff like Dungeons and Dragons, Warhammer, 40k, etc. So, I was already inspired to do Vecna because I just started watching the new season of Stranger Things. No spoilers. That's the rule for today. No spoilers, people. For both me and anybody who might be watching. No spoilers today. Okay, we can talk about how Vecna looks, but no, nothing else. Okay. And I'm going to turn him into, I guess, a D&D mini, which is like, how do I say, the challenge. So let's get on with it. Start with simple sphere. Edit, make sure the symmetry is on. I think I have to turn it into a polymesh 3D. Oh no, the wrong button. You're doing 3D modeling right now? Me too. Well, I'm about to start. Hot today, just getting out of the heat. I'm good. Doing good, no complaints. Just vibing. Gonna change the music a little bit, even though that's like a slightly creepy twinge to it, I suppose. Back now. Here. Okay. So, hope everybody's doing well. I'm gonna let a few more people arrive, and then I'll introduce myself as is customary. I'm just kind of blocking out the shape of the generic head. Generic head skull situation we got going on here. It's a good place to start. Hello from Costa Rica. Hello. Yes, Gecko. That's where the reference is from. So the goal is today I'm going to sculpt it, and then later today when I'm doing my second stream, because that's how I roll, I will try to. Well, I don't think I'll have time to like texture it and then put it in Unreal, because what I want to do is I use a simple material trick to make the undulating, like moving texture of the tendrils. These tendrils, like it's almost like there's blood circulating through them or something, and they like move. And so I want to do that in Unreal, like, and I can't wait. I'm gonna kind of come in here with my Dynamesh standard. Maybe I'll already start using Dynamesh low resolution. Yes. And just kind of block in where I want the eyes to go. Nose, even. Want to get funky with it. Mouth area. Bring down my smoothing. And see, it's too strong. Start working the general forms a bit more. The eye sockets already. Just kind of use the move brush alt, push in. This. I went a little far here, near the temple area. Looking from the side. Gonna have fun with it. I'm really excited for today. I'm having fun with it. So now that we have a few more people, what is the plugin I'm using for the custom references? So this is called Pure Ref. It's not a plugin. You can use it on top of any software at all. It's free. Pure Ref, like pure reference. Pure Ref. 10 out of 10, recommend. So let me introduce myself to those of you who have never been to my stream before. My name's Ana Carolina Pereira. I am a technical artist, character artist / generalist. I just keep adding titles to my thing. I'm like, I kind of count as the generalist too. So I'm like, and the generalist, VR developer, 7 years in the VR industry. I also, and now I'm a college professor at the Ringling College of Art and Design. I teach a little bit of everything from like game development and programming to technical arts and a little bit of 3D modeling, texturing, all that stuff, all the goodies. I have been streaming on ZBrush Live, this channel here, for 4 years. And I also have my own business in which I do mentorships for the community. So if you get interested as you watch through my process, go check out my link. I'll post the link in a little bit, actually. I think there's a command for my links that I should have been using this whole time, but I don't think it works. Oh, there it is! Nice! It's cleaner than me trying to like put in a ton of links as usual. QRF does rule. Do you think that it's better to use alpha brushes or sculpting for details? So a little bit of both. I like to make my own alpha brushes and then sometimes sculpt the details. It's kind of coming in here and kind of blocking out some skull forms, you know. Head's a little bulbous in the back here, and push that in, push that in. Check it from the top. Push it out, push it out, push it out. Smoothing, smoothing. Let's kind of block in where the ear is supposed to go. Right around here. I like to block in the ear as a little bit of a landmark, you know, for us. I'm already gonna kind of start lifting that little nose. Excited for this project. You guys have no idea. It's like tough for me to pick what I'm going to do that week. And I haven't been doing a lot of like, I've been trying to sculpt things on stream and then finish them on stream because I haven't had a lot of time to actually work on stuff on my own time. And so sometimes it's so hard to pick, you know, but I do like this topic and I'm loving the season and stuff. Again, no spoilers at all. If you spoil, I will ban you. No mercy. And so, I don't know, inspired. Feels good to be inspired. That feeling of inspiration is definitely something that is worth chasing if possible, you know. As we become more professional artists, you'll find that it's like less and less there's an emphasis on that because you just need to build discipline. Right? Nobody cares if you're inspired or not normally in the field. So it's really easy to lose that artistic twinkle in your eye, so to speak. So if you can do anything to like cultivate that feeling, definitely do so. It's an investment in yourself and your future, in my opinion. Whenever I was young, I used to have this literal like twitching in my right hand, which is my dominant hand, um, that I wanted to draw. I was just like, oh, I gotta draw. Mom, draw you faster. I want to go home and draw, you know? Um, so do you stream on your own channel? I do. I'm actually going to start streaming in my own channel in about an hour and 40 minutes. So what I do is I stream here for 2 hours and then on my channel for 2 hours. Same project. And try to finish it in 4 hours. Yes, I am sculpting Vecna. Hi, Lucas. Do you think it's better to use... Oh, I already read that one. Have you used the interpolate tool in ZBrush? It's a big speed up for me when I end up having to go in and do manual detail on my models. Yeah, I have. I like it. And I was thinking about using it for these like tentacle things. And tomorrow, like FYI, tomorrow I'm actually doing a different stream with Maxon specifically at 12 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm gonna get y'all the link real fast if I can remember where it is. So you have to actually sign up for this one. It's a webinar, but it's free, and it's going to be at 12. It's going to be 1 hour. I'm going to make the Kraken, and I have some really special techniques saved up for that one. So stop by. It's going to be me and a few people that work for Maxon. So Chad and Ellie. I don't know if you guys have seen them. I think they'll be the ones that will be with me. Let me find where my stuff is. Lost it. Confused. I'll get you guys the link. One sec. It's called the Demystify series. Sec. I found the link. I'm just gonna make sure it's the right link. The link's changed. I'm just gonna send you guys the link to all of Maxon's events. So the one, the Mystifying for June is what you're looking for, and I'll be teaching you how to make the Cthulhu in one. It's gonna be only 1 hour long. So like I've had to plan like what are the best tricks I have to make the process go by fast. So you guys know I'm not gonna joke around. Okay, I'm gonna be joking around a little bit during that thing, but like, you know, just for fun. The folks that I'm going to be doing the webinar with are super cool. And I think it'll be a good time. So if you guys can, like if you're not busy or maybe like you'll be busy sculpting something and you want to watch, go ahead and sign up for the webinar. Okay. I am still young. Oh, thank you. Hi, Hassan, or Eldest X. Sadly, I'll be at work, so hopefully there will be a recording later of it. I would imagine so. Oh, nice. You worked with the person who made the original Vecna? How nice. Are they cool? We're just gonna kind of build up this. The move brush is a little pointy. It's kind of throwing me off a little. I'm just fixing it up. I must have made it pointy when I was preparing for the Kraken. What day was it? It's tomorrow. It's actually going to be every Monday of the month of June, but my main section is tomorrow, so that's when I'll be showing the sculpting. And then other folks will be showing how to render it and stuff. And actually, I'm very excited for that part because I need to step up my rendering game. Because I always just use software that's a little bit meh. Like I've been doing a lot of rendering, for example, in like just Photoshop, and it's like it gets the job done, you know, and that's as good as it gets for that. But I would much rather learn like Redshift or something, you know. Because that's like more. I think it's probably more efficient and makes better renders. Hey Anna, any advice on how to keep motivation up when you are burnt out? I have been stuck creatively for a week and I haven't been able to work on any of my personal projects. So I would say, Anthony, first thing is that personally, I would first let me skip this. I don't like this song. Um, Personally, what I would say is that there's a difference between burnout and like art block. So art block is when you're just not feeling inspired, and a burnout is like freaking you can't even operate, right? Those are two different things. And I don't know which one it is that you're suffering from. What do you think? Is it art block or is it burnout? Like when you're burnt out, like you can't, you kind of like lose your entire motivation to do anything. It's like a depression almost, you know? It's like you don't want to work. Whereas art block is like you kind of still want to work, but you don't have any ideas or anything, you know, things like that. Um, so the thing for art block is that there's two things for it. One, you just need to develop discipline against it because when you're actually in the industry, um, nobody cares really if you are inspired, like I was mentioning earlier. You know, people are just like, whatever, like we're paying you by the hour or you're on a salary, like just get the work done, right? And then eventually you learn how to operate without creative or without inspiration. That's not when most of us do our best work, mind you, but it's just how you have to operate. But then we have actual burnouts, which is much, much worse, right? It's a thing that is very sticky. It doesn't want to go away most of the time. And it normally is like the tipping point of something else. Um, you know, like you put up with a difficult scenario long enough, you'll probably burn out. Like that's what I think burnout comes from personally. I'm going to go ahead and merge all three of these objects, and then I'm going to Dynamesh everything. And there's a lot of, I'm actually writing a little article about burnout. For those of you who don't know, I write little articles right now. It's one of my hobbies. um, and like how to put it, like the first thing about burnout is that you should think about like why you have it in the first place. Like what's wrong with your day to day or your mindset that is causing you to get to that point of like not feeling satisfied, feeling unhappy for long enough and can burn out, right? But also, the important thing with maybe both of these scenarios is that you just need to realize that you're a human being and that human beings need to take breaks. And if we spend all of our breaks just trying to stop the break, then we're not really resting or relaxing, right? We're just causing more stress. And I don't know about you guys, but like if you take a break and you don't relax, then that does become a waste of time. But a break on its own is not a waste of time. I'm gonna just block out his little mouth. Little cute mouth. Yeah. Um, Gonna kind of fill out the eye area a little bit. Is actually start paying more attention to the reference now, so that the blockout can actually get anywhere. One thing I always recommend for my mentees is like, hey, you feeling the stress buildup? Like you feeling like you could burn out? Like schedule what I like to call a guilt-free break, which is a break that's actually on your calendar and you're not allowed to work during it and you're not gonna feel bad because it's like literally scheduled. You're not being lazy, you're not being unproductive, you are taking a guilt-free break. And even during their guilt-free breaks, they still feel guilty, so it's kind of like a thing you need to learn anyway how to do. um, and like, how sad is it that we have to operate that way, right? Like, what conditioned us? But anyway, yeah. So the idea for me is like when I'm burnt out, first thing I have to do is take a step back. I really do need to rest. Otherwise, I will just be functional and like working, but right at the precipice of another burnout, right? Like I can't trick myself out of a burnout. And I burned out so bad in my early 20s that to this day, I still, like, I'm still always on the edge of falling back into a burnout. Like, it's really easy to slip it back in. That's how bad it was. Um, you know, the idea would be to never get there, never let yourself get that far, but you know how it is. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to crunch, 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 crunch. And I am seriously like I am a workaholic, and I work a lot, but I have to be mindful of how I'm feeling. Like, and a lot of it actually comes down to respecting your feelings. Like, actually pay attention to your feelings. Everybody's like, feelings are dumb, feelings are stupid. No, feelings tell you if something is wrong, right? So be open to hearing your feelings and like actually respecting them. If you start to feel bad, like question why. Work towards fixing it before it's too late. Normally is the good is a good way to go about this. Um, you know, let's see if we have some other angles to work from. Pull that chin in, then pull this part out. More forehead. More volume back here. Much less volume on this here. I actually the whole face needs to be pushed out. I'm gonna grab the mask lasso. I'm going to grab it. But yeah, I never got too much into detail about what I personally do when I burn out, which is often enough. So I actually take a break. Then I try to realize what's wrong because it's not random most of the time. Like personally for me, a lot of my burnout doesn't come from actually working. It comes from all of the thoughts that are in my head while I'm working. Normally thoughts that are like, I'm not good enough. This art isn't good enough. Whatever it might be. Like normally like overthinking. Like I feel like half of my calories are burned overthinking. Like that's how much I overthink, right? And so normally that might be the cause, and then I have to actually think about like, why am I insecure? What's making me insecure? You know, how do I work to improve that? Either by addressing the insecurity and getting better at whatever it is that I'm judging myself over, or by realizing that it's not a real thing and it's just a product of my mind trying to sabotage me. That happens. And then once I feel like I no longer have all of that negative charge in my life, I will try to re-inspire myself by playing my favorite games and watching my favorite movies. For me, like Kiki's the delivery service really helps whenever I am burned out because it's literally a movie about burnout. I don't know if you guys have watched it before, but it's a movie about a cute little witch who's like um what is it, like a little witch that loses her powers and then needs to like go through the process of being burned out. Like it really helps. So if nothing else, it makes me feel like I'm not alone when I go through it. If only calories were burned by thinking, they are. Did you know that most of our calories are spent by our brain? Go Google it. That's what was able to set humans apart from most other animals evolutionary wise and gave us the upper hand so that we could become the dominators of the world basically is that we were able to uh, use fire. Like that was the difference. Like we were able to control fire and use it to cook. And then what happened was cooked cooked meat especially was way easier to process and digest, and it made our brains be able to absorb more and more calories and grow more and more. And then that's the story. Like, calories are absolutely burned by thinking and by all your subconscious processes and unconscious processes. I could talk about that all day. Screw burnout. Let's talk about human evolution. I'm gonna start kind of like grabbing my Damien standard. I like to make it pointy and not very strong, and just kind of like blocking in where some of like the gnarly bits are gonna go. I need to make the mouth like way less voluptuous. I think the top lip needs to be basically non-existent, actually. Go away. And kind of think about where I want my eye situation to take place. Maybe a little bit more frowny face would be good too. No worry, Anthony. Can you repeat the movie name? It's called Kiki's Delivery Service. It's wonderful. Hi, Danielle. Welcome. What do you think you're going to make for next stream? I don't know. Do you have any ideas? How many different projects have you juggled at once? What have you found is your optimal balance? That is such a good question. In the past, I've juggled way too many projects at once, artistically speaking, right? So like I would start a sculpt, work on that a little bit, go on to the next one, work on that a little bit, things like that. Now I actually don't juggle as much art anymore because like my day job, it's not very, it's like it's teaching, so it's not that artistic. My night job is teaching, it's not that artistic. I do a lot of critiques though, I'm critiquing all day, but anyway, that's not the point. Point is that like I do less art now, but I still have multiple like art pieces that I wish I could get done, you know. And then when it comes to other types of projects, like for my business, I am actually juggling a lot. So I'm writing a book. I write articles. I try to run a successful TikTok and other social media. I stream. I try to make YouTube tutorials when I can. I teach a workshop every week. I do all sorts of random stuff. Like I'm always doing collaborations and partnerships and stuff. As far as yeah, so I'm doing a lot, and that's okay because since 2021, at around April 2021, I started reading all these different books and stuff about energy and like energetics, and I realized that if I understood myself internally and I did things as they felt good to me, then that was the best way for me personally to operate. And then I started trying it out, and then all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit, this was the key for me. So like my finances, my popularity, like everything that I worked on has like skyrocketed since then because I started going with my flow. What does that mean for me? It means embracing whatever I feel like doing that day. And it's a very chaotic way to exist, and it's not for everybody. So I basically like one day I'll wake up and I'm like, okay, today I feel deep in my heart of hearts that I want to write an article about freelancing. So I'll go in there and I'll write an article about freelancing. Then the next day I wake up and I'm like, today I want to sculpt something. So I sculpt it. Then the next day I wake up and I'm like, today I'm going to make a YouTube video. So I make it. So that's just the best way for me to operate right now, which is super surprising for me because I thought order was like the way to go, you know, and that I needed a perfect routine. And I've struggled with through years of trying to make a perfect routine. Like wake up at 8, do this, do that, go to the gym, whatever. And like that's just not for me. And it works really well to not try to force it. Anyway, that's not why you asked, right? But it doesn't matter how many projects I have, it only matters what I do in one day, and what I do in one day depends on the vibes of the day. From Ghibli Studio, recommend other movies. Yes. Is Stranger Things worth watching? Isn't it too childish? It's not childish at all. It has children, but it's not childish. Um, I recently started sculpting, but it's hard, man. I have a tablet, but getting the form right is hard. But it's all a matter of practice, and it is hard at the beginning. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's so worth it if you feel like that sculpting is what you want to do, then keep practicing. And then one day you won't even notice it. It's just going to start flowing. And that's the fun of it. Gosh, I missed a lot of chat. Like I'm like way behind in chat. I'm sorry. I'm gonna skip some questions probably. Do you recommend going to college to learn 3D modeling? Very difficult question for me to answer. And actually, I'm writing an article about that too. um, so there are a lot of pros and cons about going to college. And before you make a decision to go or not go, make sure that you are really thinking it through. Okay. Um, so, for example, colleges offer a lot of benefits, like a lot of deadlines, which I know a lot of people know. And I'd say that even like before anything else, the first question you should ask yourself when deciding whether or not you're going to go to college is, are you self-motivated? And do you have the discipline to always be producing and learning without external accountability? That is like the first freaking thing you need to know. And frankly, you need to be honest with yourself because everybody is going to be like, oh yeah, I thrive on not having external accountability and I can get everything done. Like, can you? Because I sometimes can't, So the college will provide you with structure. It already has a pre-made curriculum so that you're not floating around on the internet being like, oh, I'm gonna watch this tutorial, but it contradicts what that tutorial said. Like, it takes away a lot of that guesswork, and it provides you with a network, both of your classmates, teachers, and alumni, to get you jobs in the future because it's who you know, not what you know. I'd say that it's who you know and what you know. However, um, oh yeah, one last thing pro college is that if you ever want a visa, like a work visa to go or come anywhere, colleges are very important. Like they really do care about degrees. The more degrees, the better, actually. If you ever want to get a visa to go work places. Okay, so that's the pro college side. The not so pro college side is that if you are self motivated and you think you could learn on your own, and you're really honest with yourself and you really think you could do it, then that would probably save you a lot of money. And not our colleges are made the same and they're very expensive, so you have to be really smart about it. Um, Burnout Monster for next project? I've never seen that. Ana Paula! Oi, Ana Carolina, vai ficar incrível esse modelo. Meu professor de ZBrush fez desse ontem. Ever since I started 3D modeling, I loved it, and I keep on trying to learn more and create more models. It's just so fun. Um, Doing the ZBrush makes the imagination run wild. I know, right? What about for work? Like things you're paid to do? How many projects like that have you juggled? I'm currently understimulated at my day job and looking for work on the side and wanted to get your opinion on that. I only do 1 or 2 freelance projects at a time. One for me is the ideal. I would recommend don't go around asking other people what they can handle because you don't know anything about them, right? Like you don't know what my day looks like or my energy levels. But I do recommend take one project and then see. Because it also depends on the complexity and the deadlines of that one project, right? So like not all projects are made the same, but like take one project. Is that too much? Is that too little? Okay, take note of that. Next time, take 2 projects. Oh my God, okay, it's too much. Let's go back to 1. Or 2 projects still not enough, so it takes 3. So like just do that. What do you think is the best method for anatomical sculpts? Break it down first in Photoshop. Understand how each muscle is and bone and whatnot is supposed to look and where it's supposed to attach ahead of time. I'm gonna probably skip to the front to the end of the chat. I went to buy a drawing tablet with $100. I had mine was $80. It's the one that I like the most right now is the Intuos by Wacom. Same girl, 2020, I was so hung up with what the best use of my time was. Legit just been doing what I want and things have been falling into place. It's really, really, really happens and works. Chaos is the perfect routine. The name of the Little Witch movie is Kiki's Delivery Service. Since I've gotten that question a few times, I'm just gonna pull it up. We're gonna watch it together. It's from 1989. It's the cutest freaking thing you're ever gonna see. And it's also really deep and it really helps with burnouts for me. So it could for you as well. It's about a little witch, but again, it's not childish. It's like it's actually got adult storylines. It's very cool. And it's like if nothing else, it's very cozy. Skipping ahead, skipping ahead. If your question was important, send it again. Anna, have you ever tried sculpting with a Cintiq or other screen-based tablet? How does it compare to a regular tablet? I actually have that here, so I have a Cintiq and a tablet, and I switch between the two. But I've found that when I'm streaming, it's better to use the Intuos because then my face is more not looking down like this, and I feel like I can connect better with the audience. Both are good. Both are good. I recommend like trying both out before you ever buy. That is the only thing I recommend when it comes to tablets, to be honest with you. Like literally just try it before you buy it. I'm not gonna worry too much about the anatomy on this part of the body because it's like literally all tendrils and stuff. So I guess I'll just add in some shoulders though, at a bare minimum, right? Oh shoot, I forgot I was supposed to be doing a D&D mini, and that when you're doing that, it's important to have a body. What do I do? One, I should probably be moving faster. Let's take that off. I'm going to ignore that, and then we'll just use a masculine base mesh. Okay, and then we'll just kind of Frankenstein. Gotta do what you gotta do, you know? Likeness is very difficult for me to get. Do you have any tips on getting better? You need to work on your observational skills. Like, that's the #1 thing for me when it comes to likeness. Hi, Cthulhu Lady. I love Kiku's delivery service. Tomorrow I'm making a Kraken, so pretty soon I'm gonna be just Sea Creature Lady. Hi, Big Matt. Hi, Juica. How you doing? Okay, let's go up a little bit in Dynamesh, have some more fun with it. Gives me a little bit more freedom to work the forms. Always make the jawlines way too chiseled. I say as I make it more chiseled, right? I don't know. I feel like a tabletop mini is overscoped for my 2-hour stream. I think if I start it today and finish it maybe next Sunday, I could try. I really like this kind of character. Anything that reminds me of like heavy metal album covers. I appreciate that. I'm a big fan of those. I think it's an aesthetic that I enjoy. Do you need a degree to teach sculpting? Depends on where you're going to teach. If it's university, normally yes. Normally even a master's degree. But if it's just like at trade school or online course, you don't need one. Let's go ahead and kind of carve in where the eye is going to go. It's pretty high up here, so let's round out this area. Smooth. Then I'm going to grab the diamond standard and kind of invert it and kind of draw the outer edges of the eye. Like this. Good enough for now, and then I'll kind of mask pen this, and then just kind of remove the inner cavity. Then move brush for the win here. Perfection. That right there is quite the slot for pennies. Then I'm going to use my insert primitives brush. Grab that sphere and then you just like literally throw in an eyeball and hope for the best. Okay, so got some structural issues here, but you know what? Keep rocking and roll. Best thing you can do is have the show go on, right? Split unmask points so that the eyeballs are on its own subtool. And then continue from here. I'm gonna just kind of shape these bad boys out here. I call everything a bad boy. I feel like for the first time I'm actually doing a bad boy. No, never mind. I do bad boys all the time. Like Cthulhu, I guess. My classical Cthulhu. Deepen this right here a little bit. Pull this out on the outside. Pull this down. Maybe I'll mask out the actual eye area. And then soften that and invert, and then just bring the top down over the top. Just kind of really make that really that crease, I guess, really tight. Bye, Rhapsodies. Thank you for following me for a few years. I'm finally caught up with chat. Like, I feel like a weight just off my shoulders right now. I feel light. think this whole area needs to be a little bit less wide. And this needs to be a little. This actually needs to come this way. I love this character. It's so much fun to sculpt. Oh, I'm so glad I picked this. I know how the brushes work. It is just a case of looking at reference and learning anatomy to progress. Yeah, so there's a difference between knowing how to use a tool and knowing how to make art, right? Like knowing ZBrush is like knowing how to use a paintbrush in real life if you're a painter, right? Or learning how to use a certain tool on your clay if you're a sculptor in real life. Um, Once you master the tool, like, okay, that's great. But you need to actually know, a lot more in order to make nice art. You need to know the artistic fundamentals for one. Very, very important. I always say, like, tools, they change, they get upgrades, some fall off the face of the earth. Learning tools is an important skill, like, and knowing them is important, but what you really want to focus on is the fundamentals. The fundamentals, guys, they don't change. They're fundamentals. There's a reason we still study from the Renaissance masters, for example. And that reason is that everything they taught and learned back then is still completely accurate to us. How to master color theory, anatomy, composition, right? So you guys have to, I would really recommend seeing it as two different things if you don't. A lot of you do, of course. But I think it's very important to have that very crystal clear understanding that, like, just knowing ZBrush won't make you a good sculptor, and, it'll certainly help, especially if you're doing digital sculpture, right? But the tool doesn't really do the work for you. You still have to be the one sculpting. So you gotta learn that stuff. Honestly, that stuff's what's fun, right? In my opinion. And the frustrating part too. um, and the fundamentals, like, they are something that people spend their whole lives mastering. There's no easy way through it, though. Yeah, that's the only thing you can do is learn that. I'm gonna break symmetry on this one once the foundation, like the foundation of the piece is in. So for example, I don't know if how symmetrical the tendrils are. They're like pretty symmetrical. I think I can put them down symmetrically and then just finagle it in the end. Did I not use perspective? I normally do, I just keep forgetting. I'm just gonna turn it a little bit down. There's like always like a 45% chance I'll forget to turn on perspective. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the tendrils. Let's find the best reference for tendrils here. I think like this one mixed with this one. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try doing it using the curve tube snap brush. Just create tubes that snap like that. And I'm going to go to stroke, modify your size, and I'm gonna make it definitely smaller as it goes. And then maybe like this. No, it still needs to be. Let's try it. Make my brush a little smaller. I'm gonna do the ear one first, kind of coming down and to the center. Don't let them touch. Okay, take symmetry off if necessary. That'll be the first one. Then the second one comes from right behind it and kind of cuts in a little wider and then goes down a little bit more. I should turn on lock start. That's what we're gonna do next. Stroke, curve, lock start, and that will kind of keep the start from wiggling around. I'm kind of gonna come in here and do like a weird halfway one that comes out this way and goes even further. Might be making them a little too long. That. Then there are two. These references are not the same side to side, or maybe it's because it's the other side. That could also be the case. Then I'm gonna start doing the big ones. Kind of come down from behind the ear down to the gap after the collarbone. I can try using the ZBrush, but it might be a little too a little too wiggly, a little too snappy. I'm also gonna make it thinner. Then I'm going to kind of just mask the body out. Then split unmask the points. Oop. Then grab these and then just like finagle them as necessary. Right? I'm just going to use the move brush and just hide the starting points for one. And then really going to town. I'm going to use the move topological so I can just pick one up at a time. And then we're going to make these like way more dramatic. You're making Vecna? Yeah. I have two graphic tablets. I use an Intuos by Wacom and a Wacom Cintiq. Zumba, comecei de uma esfera. I started from a sphere. Cold arms. Learning fundamentals is a great way to make progress too, even if you don't have the finances or tech yet, just a pencil and piece of paper. Exactly. Mm-hmm. What does the demand look like for sculptors in games industry? Dun, dun, dun. So, I don't keep up with every single latest hiring trend in the industry, and I definitely recommend being able to do the research yourself. Like, I'm no way like giving you shade or anything. Like, it's just a very important skill to have. That being said, it's actually it's just too unclear for me right now. Like, things are changing. Some companies are struggling to hire people right now. Some companies are doing just fine. Some companies are laying people off. Like, it's really hard to tell. I don't know what's going on with the trend right now. Let's see. But I will say something that, like, sculpting in the games industry is like only half a job most of the time. Like the games industry hires character artists, not necessarily just sculptors. You know, you have to normally know your topology, how to UV, how to create accessories and game ready hair, and all these other things that a lot of people avoid learning for whatever reason. Did you get a job as a sculptor? Only in the games industry, like everything's possible. And I definitely don't own the truth. But it is a kind of a very common knowledge thing that it's not really a sculpture job, it's a character art job, and it involves more responsibilities than just sculpting normally. Is there a way to keep the curves alive and editable? You know what? I was wondering the same thing, and I haven't actually looked into it too much lately. I don't know for sure, but I'm very curious. I imagine so. There almost always is a way to do things. Just use a little simple mirror and weld. Kind of helped me out with the fact that I had to take off symmetry for a while there. No spoilers for Stranger Things. Work on these eyelids a little bit more. When did you realize you wanted a career in character design in the game industry? It was the first day I ever used ZBrush. Before that, I wanted to be a concept artist, but I just enjoyed character sculpting so much, I ended up going for it, or wanting to go for it. But if you do know me, you know that that's not how my life turned out. I actually ended up going for technical art instead and doing character arts on the side. That is my history with this. So I do both now. Well, that and a few other things. But yeah. Meeting a portfolio review anytime soon. So I'm almost at the follower goal that I set for the next portfolio review. I imagine it will be very soon. Like probably within a few weeks. But it's not scheduled. It doesn't get scheduled until we hit the follow goal. I think we're less than 100 new followers away from getting there. I think I should actually just put something in there if I want to cut that up. This one got moved over. Slowly rearrange and make them thicker as necessary. Thank you, that Diego. I have not. I've done very little with AI, Chris. Yes, Lucas, so. Thank you, Cyber. Okay, so we kind of got something. We got something. But yeah, I'm not supposed to worry about the body, right? Because we're going to be replacing it with a base mesh. I think if I put in a base, it'll become a collectible. So at least we can do that for now. Like that. Perfection. I've seen this and clicked so fast. Nice Karma Rush. I've been watching it too. It's been nice. We be 3D printing this. Like that would be really cool if I could. I don't know how many are supposed to be in the back. We're just gonna improvise. I don't ignore Brazilian players at all. I'm just saying, guys, they're being weird. Be nice and not weird, and I'll talk to you. Undercuts are bad for printing. Yeah. I love to have a resin printer so much. I'm not practical in my apartment. Yeah, I have what do you call it? Yeah, basically. Thank you, Ibsen. Let me just open up my YouTube, making sure. These curve tubes on the hair, yes, I did. I used a curve tube snap for the hair. How interesting. I was thinking about modeling after finishing my huge project. Definitely. But you should. Like, this is a very cool character to sculpt, for sure. Your Topo monster. I'm gonna divide this up a few times. Move brush. Oop. That is not the move brush. Get her eyes. They're like blocked in like that. It is Vecna. Yeah, it is Vecna. It's a lot to do still. Dang. And he's still missing some tentacles. I'll put that in later. I'm just gonna focus on the head for today. So I'm going to go up a little bit and just kind of work on some of the shapes a little bit more, but like I think it might be time for me to kind of stop obsessing over that and just kind of start you know, detailing a little bit more. Face rearranger, sure, but only if it's a serious question. Been getting a few trolls today, and I am banning everybody, so be careful. Everybody, be careful. So many details. How are you planning to sculpt them? So I'm planning to use the extractor brush. And you'll see in a little bit. But yeah, the extractor brush. So nice. I 100% recommend. Bye, Ibsen Art. Thank you so much for coming by. What do you do when you don't have any reference for the back view? So, I might just use some creative license and kind of just improvise. Can you show a little demo? Yes, I will. I will actually show it, but only in a little bit, okay? Because I'm still getting there. I'm just finishing out my block out, okay? And then we will do that brush together. How long did it take me to learn ZBrush? So to learn it enough that I could easily move around in it and like not panic all the time, it took me like maybe 2, 3 weeks. Then after that to actually use it well, it took me a lot longer. Like probably like the most comfortable to get the most comfortable ever. It took me like a year or so. Um, to start making money, it took me about 6 months. Thank you, Genosaurus. Venner, it's actually just a capture error with my capture software. It's nothing special with my brush. Do you usually use the standard UI design or just for the stream? Do you have an ZBrush UI streamlined for your workflow? No, I use the standard. But I'll tell you something like it is a good idea to have your own special UI that has like all your favorite brushes in there and all of that good stuff, you know? But I don't because I'm always teaching and like it's just I just think it's better to teach with the standard UI. So I just keep the standard UI now. Are there any front shots here? Let's block in the rest of the tentacles. I guess I can't escape it. So we're gonna do our curved tubes, but this time, curved tube snap. This time I'm gonna make the start of the curve a little smaller too, because it's just gonna be the ones along the body. So. Software you can learn quick, but the sculpting techniques, anatomy, proportions, and gesturing, this is a whole other thing that can take years. Yeah, so true. So true, peoples. The art fundamentals. I'm gonna cut off the sides here so we don't even have to worry about it too much. I think a lot of this is going to be sculpted in. I think just the big ones I'm going to do this for. Gonna take off that size modifier thing, make them a little bit less dramatic for this side. And you guys gotta remind me whenever I ZBrush to turn off symmetry. Otherwise, I'm gonna mess this all up. Then move to topological, of course, to what's this little one doing here? Gonna split unmasked points. Right, that one. Oh, there's another one. Just gonna shove that one into the body. Oh. I was on the wrong subtool. Oh, I'm missing something. There it is. Yeah, serious problem with the stroke brush. Never see the way I like. I know, sometimes you gotta try it a few times. I'm gonna merge these two. It is so true what Mustache is saying. Like, you literally don't need to know everything in ZBrush to make some super, super cool models. Like, it doesn't even matter. You can do it all with like 5 brushes or something and like a couple of operations. So, like, I know that learning ZBrush can be overwhelming and you can feel like you gotta learn all these things right now, but you don't. Like, literally just be patient, you know, take your time. And don't let yourself get overwhelmed. I know it can be very overwhelming. Okay, let's save. And then I'm going to try Dynameshing all this together. Thank you, I'm glad you like my mug. Any tips for cloth folds? Yeah, try masking. Like, okay, I can't, it's like all of my tips for cloth folds are actually like multi-step processes. I don't feel like I can just like casually be like, try this and that, because like, you know, you gotta like mask the areas that you're not folding so that you can like get better cuts on the folds, and you gotta use certain brushes and things like that. Let's give it a shot. So I'm going to save again just in case. merge down. And just in case I don't like it, the results really is the big thing. Then I'm going to Dynamesh it pretty high. It may have been too high. Actually, it works. Just checking if all the holes are still there. Okay. Then I'm gonna duplicate solo. And I'm gonna ZBrush it really fast. And I'm only gonna add some guides around the eye to help myself out here. Try to do it nicely, I guess. That, and then I'm gonna ZBrush. I'm gonna try the default settings. Would you support a redesign of the ZBrush UI if Maxon decided to go that route, or do you think you'll alienate existing ZBrush users? I don't know. I wouldn't be too protective either way. Like, oh no, that don't look so hot right here. Oh, first off, symmetry was on. See, told you guys to remind me to turn symmetry off. Let's try that again. Oh, and I forgot to fix the problem area anyway. Hi Christopher, May Art, how you doing today? Like, I think it would be fine. Like, I've gone through UI redesigns on a ton of things before. Like, I personally am not concerned. I'm good. Turn symmetry off. Thank you all for reminding me now. So Benito, like the thing is Benito, it's oh god, it looks even worse. Okay, we're gonna pull up the target polygon count twice as much. ZBrush is the go-to system for sculpture, like digital sculpture, and furthermore, it lets you go up to a ridiculous amount of polygons without lagging, and it does that through their on patented systems and things like the 2.5D, you know, that not even most softwares can't handle. Just that alone makes ZBrush worth it, in my opinion. Plus all of the resources, how fast it is. You know, it's a very it's crazy that you can open on theoretically millions of polygons on the software where all other softwares will choke up. I'm gonna hide all of the other things except for the new body and the old body, and then I'm going to divide up a few times on the new one, go back down, and then project. Check my projection. Go up one subdivision, project, and basically I'm taking the details from the high poly to the low poly. I might not want to go any higher. That seems fine. Then I'm going to hide the old one, bring everything else back in, and now we have oh no, an artifact. That little, you know what, I'm just going to fix that. I'm not going to remesh everything. That's definitely something I should have checked ahead of time. Back here too. Okay, it's supposed to be a gnarly creature. I'll let there be a little gnarliness. And then just kind of come in here. By the way, guys, I was mentioning earlier, tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be doing a little series with Maxon. It's going to be a little webinar, but it's free to go to, so make sure to sign up if you want to go. called the Mystifying series, and what we're going to be doing is me and a few other like tool experts are going to be there, and we're going to every Monday get together, and we're going to teach you how to model a one of the creatures from my TikTok. So we're going to do the Kraken, um, and how to get it nice and rendered and all this other stuff. So we're going to sculpt it in ZBrush, then render in Redshift, and composite it in Cinema 4D. I think that's what we're going to be doing, or After Effects actually. Um, but you should definitely join. Let me get you the link again to the webinar. You should sign up and come by. The Eastern time, 12 p.m. It's free. Hi Dracula, it is Vecna. Beaver Tapu and ZBrush. Not so much me. I know there's a lot of people that do. Just do this, the problem goes away. Just never smooth it again. Let me set a timer. Oh shoot, where's my phone? I need to set a timer because it's 7 p.m. in half an hour. I'm going to stop the stream and start streaming on my own channel, Anna Carolina Art on Twitch and YouTube. In case you guys want to stop by. But I actually have to remember to switch over, otherwise I'll stay here forever. Get some of the expressive lines in a little bit here. Fixing up the area around the eyes. Deepening of some creases. Really adding in some creases too as necessary. It's from the Stranger Things. It's a zombie-like creature. Really fun to sculpt. Mostly just using the Damien Standard brush to kind of create some depth and start blocking out some of the lines and details that we're going to have. Hi from Istanbul. Hi. What software do you like for textures? I like Substance Painter for my textures. Do you play games? I do. I did not finish Stranger Things. But please no spoilers. Even if I did finish it, we still wouldn't do any spoilers here, because that is just rude to the people who have not seen it yet. Kind of thickening up all these vines. Even the area in between. Taking some liberties here. I'm going to be poly painting and rendering on my channel, so I'm going to try. Depends on how far I get today. But that would be the ideal, yes. Which is why I need to pick up the pace, right? This one's just sticking out. Oh my god. Everything's okay. Oh, I forgot the inside of the nose area that I talked about earlier. Okay, just sheet it then. I feel like something weird with the little nose. What did you do to your clay buildup brush? It's kind of different. So this is the I don't think I so the clay buildup is default. I think this one's the one you're talking about? Because I was also using the Dynamesh standard like this. The Dynamesh standard I did change. I made it. Oh, I guess yeah, I made it softer intensity. Then go up subdivision. I kind of working on some of the highs and lows. This, that. I use Dynamesh standard a lot. Like, addicted to it, I think. Sometimes probably too much Dynamesh standard happens in my life. Deepen this area here. This is when we really start having a little bit of fun, I think, with the model. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely am having fun with this model. Is anybody else sculpting along? Sometimes people sculpt along, and they don't tell me, and I don't get to enjoy their sculpting alonginess. Oh, I don't know what I did just then. Must reset the camera or something. Having fun with it, using my favorite brush. Just enjoying life. Everything life and Damian Standard has to offer, you know? And I think I'm going to supplement with some standard brush. Just kind of like fill these out, you know? Really give them some oomph. Standard brush is not something I use a lot. I'm going to change it from dots to freehand. And just make it a little smoother so I don't get those like nasty little dots everywhere. Gotta come here and fix these freaking eyelids over here. Breaking my own rules. Can't really tell what's going on in the eyes, so I'm just kind of free improvising. But I definitely know it can't be lumpy. It's the only thing it can't be. Grab that mask lasso, kind of just kind of mask out that bottom lid area. Control W to make it its own polygroup. Should make it a little easier to select it, and then like continue sculpting. Clean it all up. My Damian Standard and just kind of refine the tear duct. When I started with ZBrush, I always wondered why in video tutorials they always talked about the damn standard brush, and I always thought it was not very nice, the standard brush. And I would like to know what would be the best to start my portfolio for game characters. Would it be better if I make an already existing well-known character, or do I do one from a concept art? Oh, that's a tough question. One sec. Let's see. So, both are valid options, and like if the work turns out well, then I think you can't really lose either way. It's not, I don't think anybody's out there like not giving people jobs because they picked one over the other. Okay, so like that's the very first point of clarity I think we need. So like there isn't necessarily a wrong option here. That being said, it's a lot easier to pick out the flaws in a character that you know well, right? So what I'm trying to say is, like, if you do a Power Ranger and everybody knows what a Power Ranger looks like, or a Pikachu, then if you make a lot of mistakes, then they're going to be able to see it really fast. So what does that mean for you? Like, if you're not super confident in your skills, then the flaws might be exposed much faster, in my opinion. So it might not be a very forgiving option. And like forgiving options is something I talk about in my mentorship a lot, because, you know, there really are certain things out there that are more or less forgiving, you know, for sculpting and for having on your portfolio. For example, one of the most forgiving things you can do is an alien, because like aliens don't exist. Nobody knows what an alien's supposed to look like, right? That's forgiving. a human face, one of the most unforgiving things you can possibly do, you know, because of the uncanny valley. Like, we are literally evolutionary trained to know, even subconsciously, what the human face is supposed to look like. So, we gotta be real careful with that. Um, but again, there's nobody out there being like, oh, this person chose concept over a fan art, so I'm not gonna give them a job. I like this part here. You also rig, so I know how to rig and I try at every point not to. What is my channel name? Anna Carolina Arts. I'll put my link in chat for you guys because in 13 minutes I'm going to switch over to my own channel. So there are my links right there in all of the different stream areas. So it's Anna Carolina _arts. Normally I have it up here in my overlay, but today we had technical difficulties. The old friend Uncanny Valley. Oi, Marcelo. That damn standard brush. That's hilarious, and I love that so much. I think when in doubt, I'm just gonna put a hole somewhere. Like, I'm gonna pinch this or horizontal looking. God, I'm having fun with the sculpt. I'm so glad that I watched Stranger Things and decided to do this because it's so fun. It might not look like I'm having fun because, like, normally when I'm in it, I'll just go completely like silent and like get this like death stare or something. But I really enjoy it. I think I might use later the contrast slider to like make it look more detailed and like the details are deeper. That's my cheat for because I have such like a soft approach to things sometimes, you know? Sounds nice, but it's not. Grab the standard brush again, really highlight some of these wrinkles. Maybe push this whole area in a bit more. We could do a bit be doing the full body, so I wanted to, but I don't think I'll have time. El Vecna. Are you mainly a concept artist or a character designer? So the girls on my cursor just a video card thing. It's not anything with ZBrush. Are you mainly a concept artist or a character designer? So mainly I'm not any of those things. Mainly I'm a technical artist. But I do a lot of character art on the side. Normally, I design my own characters, yes. Go hard approach. I died even of watching too many tentacles. This ZBrush, yes. Do you think you could show me how you would build out to make a body in ZBrush? Oh, little lady. Normally I would love to, but I don't have time today, actually. Not even on the second stream that I'm about to start. But yeah, I would totally just put the two meshes together and then Dynamesh them. That's how I would join them. Yeah, so that's what I would do. Hey, Anna, are you pumped for Avatar 2? And how do you feel about Eddie Falco, a fellow Latina, being cast in the role of General Ardmore, the main bad guy in the film? So, I don't know. Who's Eddie Falco, first of all? Let me search that up. I haven't even heard of that. Her or anything about Avatar. Well, I mean, like, I heard about Avatar, just didn't hear about anything about her and Avatar, you know? I don't think anything about it. That's cool for her. Good job, her. She's gonna make a lot of money. Gonna be a superstar. Or maybe she already is a superstar and she's gonna be even more of a superstar. Good job. I would gladly be an enemy in one of the Avatar movies, but I am not good at acting. Because I get nervous in front of people. Same here, a bit of everything. Sometimes environment artist. At the moment, stuck in code. I guess you love stylized art, like we all do. Okay, so let's get the standard brush, make it nice and tiny, and kind of highlight some of these wiggly bits here. Gotta make them wiggly. Otherwise, what is even the point of any of this? Is that too strong? I say after having complained that nothing I do is strong enough. Yeah, it's Vecna. It is? Oh, Emma! Hi! It's good to see you here. Good to see you here. By the way, guys, in 5 minutes, I am ending this stream and starting a new stream on my personal channel, Anna Carolina Arts. You can totally just click the link that I just posted in the chat and already open it if you want to. I don't know. Yeah, it is a fun sculpt, Emma. I'm having a real blast. I know, but there's a lot to do. I may have overestimated the complexity of this one. Let's check it with BPR. That's cool. Let's see what happens when I turn up the contrast. So, deformation, contrast. Ooh, contrast. That's before, and that's after, so definitely works, but I would do that in a layer. Will there be more Vecna or cookies? It will be Vecna on the other stream, and we'll finish it up as much as we can. If we can't, then I will just cry. I'm like even considering like maybe I should stream way longer today, like as long as I can handle, but I got another important AF stream tomorrow, so I don't know. I'll decide as I go. Yeah. It's weird that the Ana command isn't working. Does it work for you guys? When I do that, like, do you guys see links? Do you make video games as well? I do. I do make video games. All day, every day. Okay, not like that. Not all day, every day, actually. But I do make them, yes. I teach some of the design theory, some coding, help people make games, and then I also do my own sometimes. Only if like I'm really inspired though. Right now it's not my main focus outside of work, I would say. But the thing is that it will be, because I plan on opening a little school in the future. And one of the many things that will be taught, it's going to be in Brazil. And one of the many things that will be taught is game development in different packages and things like that. Yeah. That's the long-term goal of my life. One of the many. I don't know. I have too many goals. The guys that work for me, I can't help but imagine that they're like either overwhelmed or confused or both. Scared. The command is not working. What is the name of my channel? So let me get you guys the channel link. So you guys don't see? I've been posting links that you guys don't see all day. That sucks. It's going to be online, but for people that speak Portuguese. Spitting game. I've never worked on any games that you would have heard of. All of my games have been services for clients. Like, not small clients, but not your usual game clients. It's not a very satisfying answer, and I really wish I could give a better answer, honestly. Like, sometimes I wonder if I should have taken on some different clients. Anyway, so everybody, those of you who have been here before since my new schedule change, know the drill. I'm going to now stop the stream and start a stream on my personal channel where I'll stream for at least another 2 hours finishing this up. If you're curious to see how it turns out, want to keep hanging out, want to keep watching, please stop by the channel. I'm going to put the link in chat. I'm also going to get my other links going here. I don't know where they are though. That's not the one. That's not the one. There it is. So I'm going to give you my social media links and stuff like that too, so that you can follow me on social media. I have a YouTube channel as well where I will be streaming to. So I stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And more importantly, if you enjoy my vibe or my stream, please make sure to join the Discord. We do a lot of giveaways and challenges there, so it's really fun. Alright, and then you can check out my free brushes, mentorships, and workshops in this link right here. Alright, I'm going to stop the stream and start the next one. Make sure to follow the ZBrush live channel, because amazing, like dozens upon dozens of amazing, talented, super inspiring 3D sculptors stream on this channel every single day. And now like Maxon is doing these like special, like, I don't know, streams where they like talk to famous artists and stuff like that too, so it's more of like a show. So make sure to follow this channel. Alright, I'm going to start a stream on my own channel again. Here's the link once again, one last time. So get that open, and then I will see